Hello, Back Talkers. Welcome to a special Valentine's Day episode. We have a great show lined up for you today, and we'll be chatting about...
Some zoos offer people the opportunity to buy a cockroach, name it after an ex, and watch it be fed to an animal.
A Thai couple set the world record for the longest continuous kiss, lasting 58 hours, 35 minutes, and 58 seconds.
And nothing says I hate you like a vinegar Valentine. Plus 7 other things you won't believe. And stick around to the end, too, because we'll be playing a little game today called
Red Hot Questions. So stay tuned. Talkers, I'm André.
And I'm John.
And you're watching Back Talk, the show that'll make you think,
laugh,
and realize you're not as crazy as some folks out there.
Because of the 10 things about Valentine's Day you probably didn't know about.
But first, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment below, and hit that notification bell to be notified of new videos that come your way.
And please share with like-minded friends and family. But before we jump into the show, here's a short clip on Valentine's Day.
From us to you.
Red roses and Cupid have been associated with love since ancient Rome. The rose was the favorite flower of Venus, the goddess of love. Cupid, the son of Venus, is often depicted with a bow and arrow to pierce hearts and cast a spell of love. Historians believe Valentine's Day actually began in ancient Rome as a pagan fertility festival called Lupercalia, with the celebration dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, and Roman founders Romulus and Remus. The day was celebrated with activities that included sacrificing animals and whipping women with animal skins until they bled, signifying their fertility. The founder of Valentine's Day was the Saint Valentine who defied Emperor Claudius II. At the time, Claudius had banned marriage because he thought it distracted young soldiers, but Valentine illegally married couples until he was caught. After he was sentenced to death, young couples would visit his cell and give him flowers and cards. And the day he died? Allegedly on February 14th. In the 1300s, Valentine's Day officially became a day associated with love and romance. Young men and women would draw names from a bowl to see who would be their Valentine. Single men would pin the name to their sleeves, which may be where we get the term, wearing your heart on your sleeve. The oldest record of a Valentine being sent was a poem written by a French duke named Charles to his wife in 1415. Charles penned the sweet note to his lover while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London at just 21 years old. In 1537, Henry VIII declared by royal charter that Valentine's Day would be a public holiday and chose February 14th as the official day of celebration. The first heart-shaped box of chocolates was introduced in 1861 by Richard Cadbury, who started packaging chocolates in fancy boxes to increase sales, minus the Kama Sutra. Sweethearts, the little pastel candies with sentimental words, also known as conversation hearts, trace their origin back to 1866. At first they were shaped like shells. The heart shape appeared later in 1902. Today we continue to celebrate Valentine's Day on February 14th, the day Saint Valentine died, by exchanging flowers. And the heart is associated with Valentine's Day as it is considered the source of all human emotion.
Our featured product of the day is The Shatterpoint, written by John Oberg. That's right, this John Oberg right here, my co-host, has written a book called The Shatterpoint. The Shatterpoint is a psychological thriller about things that make people snap. And it's got 4 stars on Amazon.
And speaking of Amazon, The Shatterpoint is available at Amazon, iBooks, and wherever books are sold.
What?
Uh-huh.
What? Oh, but now, let's jump into the hot seat. strong hot seat.
On Valentine's Day, some zoos offer people the opportunity to buy a cockroach, name it after an ex, and then watch it be fed to an animal. Now, I could have used that several times in the past.
Well, I already did, but I would have also wanted to jump on it, do the twist, and grind that shit up and feed it to whoever it was, the animals.
That's right. And then have it fed at the very end after it had been squished over.
Oh, yes. On Valentine's Day in 2013, a Thai couple set the world record for the longest continuous kiss, which lasted 58 hours, 35 minutes, and 58 seconds.
That is a long kiss.
You need a whole lot of chapstick after that. I bet you Susie made a whole lot of money after that.
Susie?
Susie Susie Chapstick. It must be the new wine.
It's soaked in bourbon barrels, so maybe there's a little bourbon overtone
nice.
or something. A little stronger than usual. Nothing says I hate you like a vinegar Valentine. And I thought these were amusing because during the Victorian era, those who didn't want the attention of certain suitors would send vinegar Valentines. The cards had comically insulting rhymes inside that would reject the unwanted admirers.
Oh my goodness. But nothing says, though, I hate you more than receiving a fruitcake on any holiday.
I'll second that.
Teachers receive the most Valentine's Day cards, followed by kids, wives, and girlfriends. Kids' mothers. I can see how that's true, though, because when I was in junior high school and high school, I had a love or an infatuation for my teachers, and I probably would have wanted to give them a Valentine's instead.
I never had a crush on a teacher, but what stopped you?
Well, let's see. I was a student. They were a teacher. They were a teacher, and I was a student. Well,
I don't know. There's some teachers that didn't deter.
Well, I was underage,
It's estimated that in the U.S. alone on Valentine's Day, people will spend $3.3 billion on flowers for loved ones.
Oh my goodness. That could pay off a student loan debt. That can even establish universal health care. So what the hell is going on?
Exactly.
You're going to spend $3.3 billion on flowers, which are absolutely beautiful in their own right. But for something that dies, shit. Hello, student loan money over here. You can pay off my student loan debt for my software engineering master's degree. Hallmark was one of the first to mass produce a Valentine's Day card all the way back in 1913. But what I want to know is, when did Hallmark begin making those sappy Valentine's Day movies? Because, they're sappy, they're not really that interesting, and they don't really involve any minorities. But if they did involve minorities, it'll be a steamy ass show.
Well, I'll say. But they've made a ton of money off of being sentimental.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Every Valentine's Day, the city of Verona in Italy, where Shakespeare set Romeo and Juliet, receives 1,000 love letters to Juliet.
Wow. What I want to know is why Americans aren't writing thousands of letters to their senators stating that, they are trying to make change for, love. But, the addressed to their senators expressing their love of change in a country where democracy is on demise. I mean, love for one another.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yes. Oh, in Japan, it's customary for just the women to give the confections to men in their lives with the quality of the chocolate indicating their true feelings.
I like that.
You do like it?
Yeah.
Well, I have something to confess my feelings for
Oh.
you. You can either have a Reese cup or something that reminds you of something that might be in the bedroom.
Well, you know I don't like nuts, at least not in chocolate bars. So I would take the Reese's.
So that means that no, he should have chosen the other object instead of choosing that Reese's. That's exactly what he gets for what happened.
Does that mean I don't get anything special on Valentine's Day?
Exactly.
Oh.
But on March 14th, exactly a month later, the men repay the favor by celebrating the increasingly popular White Day. Also, I guess that's when many shops in Japan sells out of fading cream.
Oh.
Moving on. Moving on.
Well, since we're going around the world, it's interesting to point out that Valentine's Day is celebrated differently everywhere. And it's the second most popular day, the second most popular holiday in the world after New Year's. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Many Latin American countries know the holiday as Day of Flowers or Day of Love and Friendship. Though couples exchange flowers and chocolates on this day, the holiday's focus is also directed at showing gratitude to friends.
That's really nice. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could love each other every day and not make such a hoop to do about Valentine's Day? That would really be something that would be great. And we could stand together as humankind and make a difference. I really mean that from a really special part of myself. I guess I should say from the heart.
What the world needs
now, but the
love, sweet
love. I sounded like Stevens and Reese's. In medieval times, girls ate unusual foods on Valentine's Day to make them dream of their future husband. Yeah, I remember eating lots of pirate's booty before I met you.
Now, what on earth is pirate's booty?
It's a snack. And I think it comes from down below.
Down under, you mean? Like Australia?
Oh, down under? No, I think it's another down under. Moving on.
And I think that brings us to the end. So it's time for a sip of wine.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
And cheers to you guys. And happy Valentine's Day for all the single people and to all the couples.
To everybody,
Yes,
however you celebrate it.
Yes. It's game time.
Get started. Back talk.
It's game time! Woo! So today's game is Red Hot Questions. And we have to answer truthfully. So we'll be pulling questions out of a hat and answering the questions. Funniest fail you've had on stage while performing?
The funniest fail I've had. I was performing once with my band in college, and we were playing outside, and it was kind of misting, and the mist got into the synthesizer, and it made it go out of tune. So, as the song, and we didn't have a chance to make any adjustments. We just walked on stage, and I had the opening line of the song, and the synthesizer sounded like a cow being slaughtered. And everybody in the band turned around and looked at me with horrified looks. I was mortified, and I was struggling to tune it while I was playing it. Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Mine was when we were in the band Gemini Soul, our jazz funk band back in the day, and we were performing somewhere, and my amp was right behind me, and I was playing the bass. My mom had brought some friends in the audience, and so besides that, but anyway though, I was playing the bass, and I backed up, and I almost tripped over the amp and fell over, but I played it off and did a little swoop under and did like playing my bass. And my mom after the show said, "I saw you almost fall," and I said, "No, I didn't. That was part of the show." I That was part of the show because I was really embarrassed.
Pulled it off like a true professional.
If you had a perfume, what would it be called?
Gassy.
Oh! I think I already smell some of the fumes. Mine would be Chez André.
Chez André.
Yes,
Oh,
Chez André.
okay. Craziest place you've ever had sex?
Ooh.
In an old abandoned farmhouse.
Ooh.
Does that sound romantic?
That sounds, yeah, really romantic. Mine was in an elevator.
Was it still moving, or did you stop between floors?
We stopped. It was late at night after the club, and no one was coming in or out. So we actually stopped the elevator and proceeded to take care of business. And there were no cameras. And
That you know of.
And there was no bells or alarms going off when you hit the stop button.
A secret you kept from your parents in school.
Ooh.
Oh. That I had a crush on Billy Mooney from Lost in Space.
Ooh. Mine was... Ooh, I don't even know if I should... No, actually, no. I will say that. I won't say the other one. Because I'm still answering truthfully. I snuck out of the house of my grandparents' house late at night when they were sleeping to go meet a hookup. And this was when I was in junior high school. So that means I was about 11 or 12 years old.
Gloria, the cat's out of the bag now. I thought you were going to say you snuck out of the house to meet a hooker.
Oh!
I'm glad you didn't say that.
Well, it was a hook up.
Yes, thank you. Advice you'd give your 21-year-old self.
Can I answer that one fast?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of the music business quickly. Get out of the music business quickly. Just go directly for your degree. I have a master's degree in software engineering. You should have just ran with that quickly. What about you?
My 21-year-old self. Watch out for a certain person you'll meet on the streets of San Francisco. And stay clear.
Obviously, it's not me. This is 19 years here. See. That is it for this game segment. And Franklin, we need more time. Please give us more time.
Manipulating the timer.
He's just trying to save money, and you know he always got an attitude. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, we'll see you in the next game.
But before we go, here is our Feel Good of the Week.
Erykah Badu hops on Goop's Coochie Scented product trend. Soon your home can smell like Erykah Badu's coochie.
Oh!
She's releasing Incense called BADU'S Pussy. That smells like, well, you know what? I already said it. But you know how one can celebrate Valentine's Day?
How?
Happy Valentine's Day!
Oh my!
If you want to see behind the scenes footage of our show, be sure to head over to our Instagram account. And if you want to check out, help support the show. Ooh, that's some powerful shit. If you want to support our show, if you want to help support our show, be sure to check out our Back Talk merch. Links are in the description box below.
And then take a selfie wearing or holding the merchandise.
Yes, please. But that's
Hashtag.
all. Oh, shit. Hashtag Back Talk. That is some powerful ass shit. So, hashtag Back Talk. So, that's it for this week. Be sure to tune in next time. And remember,
always have an opinion.
Laugh, and don't be afraid to Back Talk. Cheers.